Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm preparing yet another bed. This is bed number 5 out of the 8 that I plan on having, raised beds at least here. Today, I'm actually going to be planting something other than potatoes. I know, it's hard to believe, it's shocking, it's stunning, you're at a loss. So am I. But I'm done with the potatoes. 4 beds is more than enough. I overdid it on the potatoes. Let's hopefully we'll have a beautiful harvest this year. Today I'm going to be planting up tomatoes. Yes, tomatoes. Again, hard to believe, something different other than potatoes. But yes, I'm going to be planting up 2 different types. One is Mortgage Lifter, and the other one is going to be Early Girl. Now, I've grown Early Girl in the past. I believe it was the last 2 years I've grown Early Girl when I lived in New York. This year, I have no idea how it's going to perform, but I'm going to try planting it out. And then going to plant out the Mortgage Lifters. Again, no idea how they're going to perform, what they're going to do. And since they're still fairly small, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to plant them, I'm going to sort of deer-proof them with a cage. And again, I'll show you that as well in just a moment. So, and then I'm going to plant basil. Basil is a companion plant to tomatoes. It's supposed to allegedly enrich the flavor. I don't know how true that is, but it's also supposed to keep various vermin away, from little bugs to bigger deer. So let's get to planting. Okay, so first we're going to plant up the Mortgage Lifters. Now, I've forgotten how large these things get, and I'm being a bit lazy right now, and I'm not going to go look it up. I could. I don't even have my phone on me. So I'm just going to plant these up with my best guess as to spacing. And again, we'll see how they perform this year. So first we're just going to dig a hole for the first one. Now I'm going to make these holes deep because I'm going to try something that I have seen done before, and I have done it myself. And that's planting the tomato extra deep. And the reason being is because, well, that's not extra deep, but we'll go with it for now. So what we're doing is we're covering up part of the stem. And that part of the stem will then go on to help make extra roots, as well as the roots that are in the pot. So it makes the plant just a little sturdier. And in this windy environment that I live in, kind of need that. The soil in the raised bed is also quite loose, so that doesn't help any. These Mortgage Lifters so far have very nice roots, so just want to see if I can get this guy a little deeper. There we go. I think that'll work. Cover them back up from the soil in. There we go. So the stem was much taller, and as you can see, I've buried them a little deeper. And again, that should help because new roots, theoretically, I'm no plant expert, but should grow out from the stem. For those of you new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. I live in eastern North Carolina, growing zone 8A. So if some of you who are further north are going, oh no, I can't plant out my tomatoes yet, why is he planting his? It's because I live further south and it's quite a bit warmer. But soon you should be able to plant out your tomatoes. And then we'll just backfill. There we go. There we go. Now what I'm going to do to protect these tomatoes from, put a label there, from the ever-present deer who like to munch on these things, I'm going to put a cage over them. Now this cage is only going to be temporary. In probably about another week or so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to then start staking these and putting cages around them, growth cages. Then what I'll do for this bed is I may wind up I'm going to put up like a 4-foot fence netting around this. And again, hopefully that should deter the deer, as well as I'm going to put out the deer no-no, the chemical repellent. So that again should keep the deer away from this. But in the meantime, this should keep them happy and safe. Okay, so the next 2 tomatoes that I'm going to do, and I'm only going to do 2 in this space, in this 4-foot space, is Early Girl. Again, I've grown them in the past when I lived in New York. Those mosquitoes are getting bigger every day. And I know that they are vigorous growers. So I'm only going to plant 2 in this space, and even that might be too small for them, because each plant does get quite considerably large. But I think with some careful pruning, and again keeping them within their cages, their confines as it were, might be successful. So I'm going to plant the first one. Now these plants that I have, these Early Girl tomatoes, they're not the healthiest looking tomatoes. I did grow them from seed that I have used in the past, that I got from my tomatoes in the past. So I'm going to give it a whirl and see what happens. You'd be surprised that sometimes when you go to plant something out, if it looks half dead, or if it looks sick, that it might surprise you and bounce back. So, and again, I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the others, and I'm going to plant them just a little bit deeper. And again, this way the stems will form better roots and hopefully make a stronger plant. Just pop this one out of the root. These both have good root systems, so there's no reason why they shouldn't bounce back, recover, thrive. But we'll see. If they fail, so be it. Live and learn. Yeah, that one's nice and deep. And again, I'm going to cover this one up with a cage as well. And since these guys are little right now, I'm going to use these smaller wire cages. And again, it should keep the deer away from the plants, hopefully deter them for now, and then we'll see what happens next. I have a lot of basil to plant, so I'm going to start planting that now, and we'll go from there. So the basil I'm going to plant out is Genovese basil. I am growing sweet basil, and again, I'm not sure which one will perform better here in growing zone 8A. So, but we will give it a whirl. And with a little luck, by maybe July, I will be eating pesto. Nice cold pesto with some pasta. Delicious. If I have enough basil this year, I might even try drying it and saving it for the winter as a dried herb there. I'm gonna keep all these black plastic pots. These came from tulips that were bought at a store, and what are you going to do with them? Throw them in the trash? Not an environmentally friendly thing to do when you can simply reuse them over and over, and that also saves you money because now you don't have to go to Amazon and buy more pots. So there you go. Reuse the pots, save the planet, blah, blah, blah. I will probably plant a few more. I have more basil that needs to be planted out, I believe the Genovese type, so I will probably plant them a little closer to the tomatoes when I get a chance. And I think that's about it for now. I'll do a follow-up once these tomatoes get a little larger, and I will show you the stakes that I'm going to use. I have regular traditional green stakes. I also have cages that I will be using to help support all of these. And I might do a hybrid of all of that. Again, I don't know how these plants are going to grow. I know the Early Girls are indeterminate, so that means they will keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. So I don't know what the mortgage lifters do, if they are determinate plants or indeterminates. Again, I could look that up, but I'm lazy right now. And I think that's about it for today. I'm going to go do a bunch of other boring projects. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified when I post up a new video. Some of them will be short, some of them will be longer. If you have any ideas or thoughts or suggestions for an upcoming video, please leave again a comment below. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, give a follow on Instagram. I post pictures there of various things that you may not see here on YouTube. And I think that's about it for today. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.